Welcome all of you. So this video is for those students who are finding levers very confusing. Okay, so I am doing this to give you a very clear idea about this chapter. Okay, so actually if you watch this video completely, you will not have to go back to your textbook anymore, because I am covering every point of this chapter. So quickly see, we'll start right from the beginning. Now there are three types of levers. Okay, definitions I never include in my video, you get it in the textbook, so please do it from the textbook. So here first is class 1 lever. Okay, class 1 lever, you know there are three types of lever. Now in class 1 lever, the fulcrum is supposed to be in the center, not in the center, I would say in the middle. Okay, so if this is 10 centimeter, it is not necessary that the fulcrum will be at 5 only. The fulcrum can be here load, here effort. The fulcrum can be here, anywhere, but between the two. Okay, now here in this case, so here one case can be the fulcrum is right at the center. This can be one case. Okay, in that case, this becomes the effort arm. Effort arm is equal to load arm, right? So here this is example is physical balance, like the one which is called the, like this kind of a thing you must have seen. Okay, you get it in gold shops now. These days you don't see it in vegetables market. Okay, earlier this used to be used in vegetables market also. Okay, so this kind of a thing where the fulcrum is at the center. Now effort arm is equal to load arm, and therefore mechanical advantage, which is equal to effort arm by load arm. Okay, effort arm by load arm, that becomes 1. Okay, velocity ratio for an ideal machine is equal to mechanical advantage, so that is also equal to 1. Now what does the lever work on? The lever works on the which principle? The principle of moments. They do ask principles all the time, so any lever works on the principle of moments. Okay, so what is it? Moment of, that is moment of effort about fulcrum, I'm just taking shortcuts, is equal to moment of load about fulcrum. Okay, so the moment of this one about this is the fixed point, the moment of this one about this. So if both are equal, then this lever is supposed to be in equilibrium. Now you have done sums on this from your first chapter, that is the chapter that is in the chapter 4, so you have done lots of moment questions. So lever works on that principle only. Now we did just case 1 of class 1. Okay, this was case 1 of class 1, but what if the fulcrum is little towards this side? Here is load, here is effort, and the fulcrum is here. Okay, let's see, then effort arm is greater than load arm, right? Effort arm is greater than load arm, and therefore mechanical advantage, if you use this formula, is greater than 1, velocity ratio is greater than 1. Okay, what you have to do is learn few examples of this, like you can get the examples of these. So right at the center it can be a seesaw. Okay, right fulcrum at the center can be a seesaw. Then so you should learn one examples. So 3 examples of class 1 we get. Then effort arm bigger than load arm, it can be a spoon. Okay, this can be a spoon. And then the third one, now let's see the third type, and the third type is the effort arm is shorter. The effort arm is shorter than the load arm. Here effort arm less than load arm. If so, mechanical advantage is less than 1. Velocity ratio is also less than 1. Now here example can be scissors. Okay, a pair of scissors. Here the example can be a pair of scissors where you are cutting it. This side you hold your If hand is here, here you are cutting the cloth. So the load arm is bigger than the effort arm. Not just that, let's see something else also important here. So these are the three types of class 1 only. Only class 1 has three types. Okay. Now here effort arm smaller than load arm. This is used only for gain in speed. When mechanical advantage is less than 1, this is used for gain in speed. That is why you use this increase in speed, you use this machine. Okay. Here whenever mechanical advantage is more than 1, this works as a force multiplier. Okay, this works as a force multiplier. Now let's see class 2 levers. Okay. Now class 2 levers will have the, this is class 2 levers. Now class 2 levers will have the effort in one side and the load here. Okay. And then you have the fulcrum. So fulcrum is at the side. In other words, I can say load in the middle. That is how you remember. Okay. So here effort arm is always greater than load arm. There is no doubt, because this much is the load arm and EF is the effort arm. Then mechanical advantage is always greater than 1, velocity ratio is always greater than 1, and then it is used as a force multiplier, because mechanical advantage multiplier. So we have only one, okay, we have only one type of class 2 lever. Okay, here, and examples are nutcracker, or because for nutcracker you need a lot of force, and bottle opener, bottle. So you learn up these, only these examples are enough. Okay, you can see your textbook and see those pictures. With the pictures they have given class 1, class 2, class 3. That much you can make an effort to remember, because they can ask you in MCQ. Okay, now let's see class 3 lever. Class 3 lever. Now class 3 lever will have, here will have the load, and then will have the effort. The effort comes in the middle and the fulcrum at one side again. This time effort arm is less than load arm clearly, and mechanical advantage less than 1, velocity ratio less than 1. Okay, so and we have now, so here what do we use it for? We can use it for gain in speed, not force multiplier, gain in speed. Now this is what you have to start remembering, where it is force multiplier, where it is gain in speed. For class 3 lever, all class 3 levers are gain in speed, like sugar tongs. Okay, example, sugar tongs, or even knife. Okay, knives or spades, knife and spade. These are examples of class 3 type of lever. Okay, now what is the law of levers? Now when I ask this to my students, many times they tell me the principle behind levers, they don't tell me the law of levers. Okay, what exactly is the law of levers? Law of lever. What exactly? Law of levers is nothing but mechanical advantage is effort arm. This has been derived. They will not ask you for the derivation by load arm. This is the law of levers. Principle is principle of moments. Okay. What are the conditions? Conditions for an ideal lever. You know this. This is for every ideal machine. They ask for a condition. Firstly, assume that rod is weightless. Assumed, which it isn't, that rod is weightless. Assume that rod is weightless. And second one is there is no friction at the fulcrum. There is no friction at the fulcrum. Okay, there is no friction at the fulcrum. So we don't want any force to overcome the friction which is at the fulcrum, and the first one is the weight of the rod is assumed to be weightless. Okay, so Now one big question is, because ICSE they has a very different way of asking questions. They will never ask direct questions. Okay, they will ask something in between, in some other question as a part of it. Mechanical advantage, how can mechanical advantage be increased? How can mechanical advantage be increased in a liver? Okay, how can it be increased? Now there can be three ways: increasing effort arm. Okay, increasing effort arm, decreasing, this is something you'll have to make little effort to load arm, because mechanical advantage is effort arm by load arm. So you want to make this bigger, you either make this bigger or you make this smaller. Okay, or shifting the fulcrum. They will ask you, by keeping, if the load and effort is to be kept steady, then what to do? By shifting the fulcrum towards the load, fulcrum towards the load. Okay, by shifting the fulcrum towards the load. So if you are shifting the fulcrum towards the load, automatically effort arm becomes bigger and load arm becomes smaller. So these are the three ways in which you can change the mechanical advantage. You can increase the mechanical advantage of a machine. Okay. So as I said, that much from the theory part of livers. You don't really need to look into the chapter. Next video that I am going to upload in this chapter are the numericals based on this. Please see that video. Okay, that's going to come up very soon. Okay, so this is it. You can watch it right before your exam, because everything that is in the textbook and that can be made into a question is here. Okay, do not forget to like, share and subscribe, because I am going to, after the ICSE exams are over, I am going to upload lots of videos on 11th maths. Okay, the entire of 2026 videos on 11th maths will be uploaded in the channel. So look out for it. Thanks all of you. Bye then.